let me get my guests on the show right now. Nikhil Nas, senior cricket journalist, joins me on the show. I'm also joined by Deepti Sarikonda, the supporter of the Hyderabad team, and Gurkirat Singh Gill. He's a supporter, very happy supporter of the Delhi team tonight. Nikhil, to you first. Getting Marcus Stoinis to open the innings today, would you say that was a masterstroke?
You'd have to say that, Rika. In fact, the newspapers were full with this sort of information. So clearly, this is something that the Delhi Capitals were contemplating for some time now. But I think the bigger decision that they made was to win the toss and decide to bat first. Because if you take a look at the second part of this tournament, batting second's been the way to go. The stats support that too. And yet, Delhi won the toss and decided to bat first. I think it had a few factors in play at that point. One, I'm guessing they saw how Sunrisers Hyderabad came under pressure in the last match that they played, chasing a total. Secondly, just the whole pressure of chasing a total in a knockout game. I think those are the things that went in their mind. But still, a big call. Conventional logic, conventional stats would have told you need to bat second, chase a total. But they went with something that pressure would have played a major role in, and that is why they eventually decided to bat first. So that was a big call. It's great, Rika, to see Delhi. It's taken them 13 seasons to be finally in their first IPL final. And what's going to be fantastic to watch on Tuesday, one, Delhi for the first time will be contesting in an IPL final, and then there will be an ex-Delhi player. Some people may remember, his name was Tejasvi Yadav, will be fighting the finals of the Bihar election. So that's going to be a super Tuesday where two Delhi candidates, so to say, would be competing.
It will be a terrific Tuesday indeed, Nikhil. Let me go over to Gurkirat. Well, earlier in the day when we were having the pre-show, we did discuss about Marcus Stoinis opening, but we really didn't talk about his bowling prowess. Did you think, Gurkirat, that he'll come back because of what he did while opening? That confidence will rub off, and he will come back and take 3 wickets?
No, I didn't think that. I genuinely want to say this, but he's surprised everyone in this IPL. I mean, starting from the first game when he played that miraculous 50 against Punjab in the first innings, he's just taken Delhi out of some situations which a lot of big players are not able to do it. So no praise is enough for Marcus Stoinis today. He got 3 crucial wickets. Priyam Garg had gotten on a roll in the power play. Manish Pandey, we all know his caliber. He was also looking set, and then Williamson in the end. I mean, like I said, no praise is enough. Just want to add one thing that Nikhil said about Tejasvi Yadav. Yes, I do remember in the first 3 seasons he was a part of the team, and he's sort of a lucky charm because in those first 3 seasons we reached the last 4 for twice. So yeah, let's hope that if he wins, that lucky charm rubs onto the team and we go one step further. I would genuinely like that.
Deepti, since you are a supporter of the team, I would just like to know from you first, why is Kane Williamson called Kane Anna and David Warner called David Bhai? Is it because he plays Anna-like knocks?
Anna is a Telugu version of Bhai, so we call him Kane Anna, Kane Mama. We gave all the players some Telugu or local sort of names. So Kane Williamson is a player who is very close to our hearts because in absence of David Warner, when the whole of SRH were very down in 2018, he came up and he took the step and he took us to the final. So that is one thing we are very proud of him. And Orange Army loves Kane Williamson as much as we love David Warner. They are like there are 2 cities in Hyderabad and Secunderabad. So they're called twin cities. So if Warner is the Hyderabad, Kane is Secunderabad. That's how they both are to SRH.
Okay, that's quite a revelation for me, and in fact, perhaps a lot of my viewers, this Hyderabad, Secunderabad analogy is something we didn't know. Nikhil, coming back to you, when Kane Anna or Kane Williamson was out there in the middle, did you think that the chase was possible, and would you think that Kane Williamson's wicket today was the turning point?
I wouldn't say it was the turning point, Rika. Yes, I did think that Sunrisers Hyderabad were in the game as long as he was around, but the run rate was really climbing, and you never really thought that Sunrisers could do it. I mean, it would have had they've been able to chase that, you would have said that it was a minor miracle to say so, because the run rate had gone over 12. I think they lost the game losing those early wickets when they lost David Warner early and Manish Pandey, and even before that, allowing Delhi Capitals.
Would you say that fifth over when Stoinis took the 2 wickets, that was when they really were pegged back and they never recovered from there?
True. True. As I said, I mean, they had reached a tough situation at that point. It wasn't impossible. It was a tough situation. And then, as you mentioned, Stoinis took those wickets. Then probably that over that Rabada bowled as well. Even at that time, it looked close to impossible, but they could have still managed to do it. Had Samad made a few big lusty blows, we know Rashid can do that. They could have turned it around, but you'd have to say Delhi were really the favourites. But I thought, as you're talking about Kane Williamson, I didn't know they called him Anna. I thought the lingo in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana is Garu. So I thought, probably they call him Kane Garu, because I've heard a lot of people use that word for an elder brother. But whatever said and done, I think credit must be given to Sunrisers Hyderabad to have reached where they have. We heard David Warner say it at the end of the game that everyone kept talking about the big three, Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians and RCB. No one gave us a chance, and for them to have reached this far, I think that's commendable. And let's not forget, they lost some of their very crucial players reaching this far. Even someone like a Saha who was firing for them wasn't fit. They lost their best bowler in Bhuvneshwar Kumar at the start of the tournament. So despite all of that, to reach where they have, they must be really proud of themselves.
But would you say, Deepti, despite the loss of Bhuvneshwar Kumar, despite the loss of Vijay Shankar, the bowlers really made up, given the way Natarajan bowled, and even Nadeem today, it was not his day. But, in the previous match, he bowled, and the match before, he bowled very well. Would you say that they more than made up? But the only problem with the team remained in their 6th bowling option. They could not find a good 6th bowling option.
Okay, starting off, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is my favorite player, and when I got to know about his injury, we were totally devastated, especially me. And from that situation, how Sandeep Sharma, Natarajan, and even Rashid Khan does it, but then in the seamers, how they all stepped up and took the responsibility is something that we are very proud of. And Sunrisers generally thinks a lot about their bowling before they go to the batting. So even our bench is still strong, I'd say that. So that kind of helped us out. Yeah, the 6th bowling option has been a problem, but then we are also, playing a young team, and we had to show confidence in them. So that is the reason we played one shot. So I think it kind of balances out. And today Samad's performance, I think it requires an appreciation. And if that ball would have given no ball, it would have been different. We had few unfortunate decisions that took place, so that didn't go our way.
Gurkirat, I'll have to come to you for one last question. Perhaps you can give me a 30-second answer to what really Delhi needs to do now on the 10th to, get over the finish line. Mumbai looks like a well-oiled machine, and they look unbeatable at this point.
Follow the same template. I think today's template more or less have given them a direction as to how they have to head it. They have to persist and play Praveen Dubey, because Rohit Sharma and a couple of other Mumbai batsmen also do struggle against leg spin. I think one thing that they could have done better today is when they had gotten a very good start, they could have promoted Hetmyer straight away at number 3 instead of sending him at number 4. But I mean, if they have to beat Mumbai, they have to be at their perfect best, and they have to ensure that they have the right attacking intent going, because like I've said before many times, you cannot outbat Mumbai. You only have to outbowl them, and for you to outbowl them...
Right, Nikhil, you were wanting to say something. Please finish, yes.
I'll give you a one-line answer of what really Delhi need to do to beat Mumbai. Kidnap Jasprit Bumrah. That's the only way they can do it. Last time we saw what he did to them. So just kidnap him, put him in a box, hide him somewhere. That's the only way they can beat Mumbai Indians.
Well, Delhi has to be at their aggressive best, perhaps, to beat Mumbai. Now, talking about aggression, you cannot you cannot not talk about this man, Shikhar Dhawan. He has scored once again 600 runs this season. He hit his 6th IPL 50 this season as well, and today's was his 2nd fastest IPL half century. Nikhil, Deepthi and Gurkirat, thank you very much for joining me on the broadcast this evening.